Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. We are back today in Kensal Green Cemetery and we've come to find the final resting place. I look a little bit wonky, man. Better? We have come to find the final resting place of JG Ballard. Now he is an author who wrote Empire of the Sun, which got turned into a motion picture, and Crash 1973, which also got turned into a motion picture as well. So a really established author. I can't remember, did Stephen King direct Empire of the Sun? I can't remember, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, and I wanted to find his final resting place because I know that I do have a lot of you guys out there that like to see the authors. So when I'm in a place where there is one, I'll go and film them. So if you like the video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. And if you've read any of his books, then please leave your comments down below if you're a fan of his work at all. And we will now go and find his final resting place.
James Graham Ballard, 15th of November 1930 to the 19th of April 2009, was an English novelist and short story writer. Known for psychologically provocative works of fiction that explore the relations among the human psychology, technology, sex and the mass media. JG Ballard was born to Edna Johnston and James Graham Ballard, who was a chemist at Calico Printers Association, a textile company in the city of Manchester, and later became the chairman of the managing director of the China Printing and Finishing Company, the association's subsidiary company in Shanghai. The China in which Ballard was born featured the Shanghai International Settlement, where Western foreigners lived an American style of life. At school, Ballard attended the Cathedral School of Holy Trinity Church, Shanghai. Upon the outbreak of the Second Sino-Japanese War, 1937 to 1945, the Ballard family abandoned their suburban house and moved to a house in the city centre of Shanghai to avoid the warfare between Chinese defenders and the Japanese invaders. In late 1945, Ballard's mother returned to Britain with JG and his sister, where they resided at Plymouth, and he attended the Leys School in Cambridge, where he won a prize for a well-written essay. Within a few years, Mrs. Ballard and her daughter returned to China and rejoined Mr. Ballard, and whilst not at school, he resided with his grandparents. In 1949, he studied medicine at King's College, Cambridge, with the intention of becoming a psychiatrist. In 1960, the Ballard family moved to Shepperton, Surrey, where he resided till his death in 2009. To become a professional writer, Ballard forsook mainstream employment to write his first novel, The Wind from Nowhere, 1962. During a holiday, he quit his editorial job with the Chemistry and Industry magazine. Later that year, his second novel, The Drowned World, 1962, was also published. Those two novels established Ballard as a notable writer of new wave science fiction. From that success followed the publication of short stories collections and was the beginning of a great period of literary productivity, from which emerged the short story collection The Terminal Beach, 1964. In 1964, Mary Ballard died of pneumonia, leaving Ballard to raise their three children, James, Faye and Bee. Although he did not remarry, his friend Michael Moorcock introduced Claire Walsh to Ballard, who later became his partner. Claire Walsh worked in publishing during the 1960s and the 1970s and was his sounding board for his story ideas. Ballard sponsored an exhibition of damaged automobiles titled Crashed Cars. Lacking the commentary of an art curator, the artwork provoked critical, photorial and layman vandalism. In the story Crash and in the Crashed Cars exhibition, Ballard presented and explored the sexual potential in a car crash, which theme he also explored in a short film made with Gabriel Drake in 1971. Those interests produced the novel Crash, 1973, which features the protagonist named James Ballard, who lives in Shepperton, Surrey, England. Crash was also controversial upon publication. In 1996, the film adaptation by David Cronenberg was met by a tabloid uproar in the UK, with the Daily Mail campaigning for it to be banned. In the years following the initial publication of Crash, Ballard produced two further novels, 1974's Concrete Island, about a man stranded in the traffic divider island of a high-speed motorway, and High Rise, about a modern luxury high-rise apartment building's descent into tribal warfare. Ballard published several novels and short story collections throughout the 1970s and 1980s, but his breakthrough in the mainstream came with Empire of the Sun in 1984, based on his years in Shanghai and the Lugana internment camp. It became the bestseller, was shortlisted for the Booker Prize and awarded the Guardian Fiction Prize and James Tate Black Memorial Prize for Fiction. It made Ballard known to a wider audience, although the books that followed failed to achieve the same degree of success. Empire of the Sun was filmed by Steven Spielberg in 1987, starring a young Christian Bale as Jim Ballard. Ballard himself appears briefly in the film, and he has described the experience of seeing his childhood memories reenacted and reinterpreted as bizarre. He continued to write until the end of his life and also contributed occasional journalism and criticism of the British press. Of his later novels, Supercans 2000 was well received, winning the Regional Commonwealth Writers' Prize. These later novels often marked a move away from science fiction, instead engaging with elements of a traditional crime novel. Ballard was offered a CBE in 2003 but refused, calling it a Ruritanian charade that helps to prop up our top-heavy monarchy. In June 2006 he was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer, which materialised to his spine and ribs. The last of his books published in his lifetime was the autobiography Miracles of Life, written after his diagnosis. He died on the 19th of April 2009 at the age of 78 years. His final published short story, The Dying Four, appeared in the 1996 issue 106 of Interzone, a British sci-fi magazine. It was reproduced in The Guardian on the 25th of April 2009. He was buried in Kensal Green Cemetery. Some of his well-known works are The Wind from Nowhere 1961, The Drowned World 1962, The Burning World 64, The Drought 1965, The Crystal World 1966, The Atrocity Exhibition 1970, Crash 1973, Concrete Island 74, High Rise 1975, The Unlimited Dream Company 1979, Hello America 1981, Empire of the Sun 1984, The Day of Creation 1987, Running Wild 1988, Rushing to Paradise 1994, Cocaine Nights 1996, Supercans 2000, Millennium People 2003, and Kingdom Come 2006.
Who's that walk behind me? Anyway, so there's all the information there about JG Ballard. What an amazing author and accomplished author he was. You know, there's not many authors that have their work turned into movies. So we'll have a little look for his final resting place. You know what? I think I found it. You can always hear pigeons scuttling around in trees whenever you cover cemeteries. Okay, here we go. James Graham Ballard, writer and beloved father, born Shanghai, 15th of November 1930, died London, 19th of April 2009. So there we have the final resting place of James Graham Ballard. What an amazing author. Thank you, James, bless you. And on behalf of all the fans of your books and obviously the films that, and the films that obviously subsequently came from the books, what an amazing guy, what a talent. I always think it's a talent to be an author, because your creative mind has to be I've tried writing myself in terms of a story, and I started it 10 years ago and I'm still on chapter 3. Yeah, and it's obviously a fictional type, but yeah, I just haven't got around to I pick it up and leave it and stuff like that. Anyway, just while we're here, I just want to show you, you have to admire some of these, you know, Boris Yolinsky. Now obviously I can't read the rest of it on there, but wow, what a headstone. You know, people just spend so much money, don't they, on their headstones, and obviously a lot of it is from many moons ago, like this sort of thing here with the Egyptians. So you know, you start looking into it, you wonder, is it an Egyptian family there? And amazing. That's what I love about these big places. They're so So big. Got so much going on in them. I'll just show you this one up here because it's massive. I'll just say this one here quickly. William Frederick Meredith. You know, he's got his portrait of his face in there. Could you imagine that? Some of the people I see about today, especially walking around in these cemeteries, I wouldn't want to put their faces on me. I can't talk, I'm no oil painting. But look at this is amazing, isn't it? It's gorgeous. And, you know, you wonder how many family members are in there and stuff. But there you go. So there's that. It just makes me laugh when you see their faces on there. Not pictures, obviously, not family pictures, but when you see like a blue still, you know. Yeah, crazy. He's there again, he's looking at me, so I'm going. Right, that's it from me today. We've got to have some light humour when we do this, guys and gals, you know that, don't you? Whoa. I always see things out of the corner of my eye. Is it like a headless horse with no feet? Now, is that because it's been damaged? It's got to be, hasn't it? But everything's headless. Now this, I'm sorry I'm going on today, this really looks like it could be a scene out of The Walking Dead. You just don't know what's going to get up and walk out of there, honestly. Right, I'm going, I promise I'm going. Right, I'll see you all soon. Take it easy to that.